GHGi Analytics provides users with the ability to add additional attributes, data items or data fields to various forms within the system. Many organizations will only need the standard set of data items, but some will want to add additional data fields to the standard forms, or hide one or both of the default show-hide fields. After logging in, you get to the central console. In the navigation bar, we select Applications, and in the drop-down, select Analytics. This takes us to the dashboard page, where we select Setup in the navigation bar, and in the drop-down, select Show Hide. This takes you to the Show Hide Data Items page. The page is split into different sections, starting with electricity meters, moving on to gas meters, other fuel points, and finally generic custom attributes. Next to each item is a checkbox. To activate a particular data item, you simply tick the box, scroll to the bottom of the page and click on the Update button. All but two of the data items are available to electricity meters, gas meters and other fuel supply points. The exceptions are the sub-meter indicator, which only applies to electricity and gas meters, and the show unit multiplier, which is only applicable to electricity meters. With two exceptions, they are all single-line text fields with a 20-character limit. The exceptions are the supplier address field, which has a limit of 45 characters, and other data, which is a multi-line text field displaying 5 lines with a limit of 512 characters. The first section applies to electricity meters. Show Submeter Indicator is selected by default. Its use is described in another video, but it is relevant when your company uses a meter to monitor a specific piece of equipment or area, perhaps where you have tenants and need to measure their usage. Show Floor Area is next. This is relevant when an organization wants to use floor area as their intensity ratio. Recording it here removes the need to look it up elsewhere. This brings us to the show unit multiplier. In modern electricity meters, the numbers shown are generally in units, but on older meters, the numbers shown can be in tens or occasionally hundreds of units. This field allows you to specify the multiplier. The second group is supplier customer reference information. First, the supplier account reference, which you will find on an invoice or bill. Secondly, the supplier contract reference, which you will also find on an invoice, but could be called something like the customer number. Next, we have the supplier site number. Again, it should be on the invoice. This is followed by the supply address, which could well be different from the billing address. And finally, the supplier telephone number. The third group is contract information. Recording it here removes the need to look it up elsewhere. The entries are termination date, the date the current contract ends. Then we have the notice period, the length of time required between informing the supplier you wish to end the supply contract and the last day of supply. The fourth group is headed Meter Serial Number. The first field is Show Meter Serial Number, which is selected by default. The second is Meter Install Date. The final group is Meter Point Attributes. You may wish to record additional data against a meter or other supply point that we have not considered. We've provided 6 attributes that you can personalize to your organization's particular requirements. These are text boxes that can accept letters or numbers. Special characters such as $, inverted commas and brackets are not allowed for cybersecurity reasons. If your organization does have a pressing need for a specific special character, please discuss it with us. To use a meter point attribute, you enter a short description in the label field, then tick the checkbox and it will appear in the form for that meter type. I will enter Meter Supplier in the label field and tick the checkbox. Scroll to the bottom and click Update. In the navigation bar we select Setup, and in the drop-down select Edit Electricity Meters, which takes us to the Edit Electricity Meters page for that account. We select one of the meters, which takes us to the Edit an Electricity Meter page, and there we will see the new data field. You have a maximum of 20 characters, and as I said, there are 6 fields like this. Next is a field named Other Data. This is a multi-line text field displaying 5 lines with a limit of 512 characters. We can ignore the next field. Finally, there are generic custom attributes. These allow you to insert drop-down fields, but these are the subject of a separate video. We would recommend that you use these additional items sparingly. The more items on the form, the less inclined people are to use it. If I take all the items in the gas section and then go to the Edit Gas Meter page and open up one of the gas meters, you will see the effect it has on the form. Rather too extensive, I think you would agree. It's always a temptation to collect just a little bit more data. We urge you to resist this inclination. Thank you very much for watching this video.